So there's several videos I'm currently working on. There's the metal collection update that I have only 2 more CDs to listen to before I can give you guys an honest opinion. I kinda strained my back, so I might be moving a bit weirdly. And I have a video already, but I can't find the file anymore, so I might have to re-render the save file of that. In the meantime, I wanted to do this quick little rant here. Now, some of you might know that I like art. Some of you might know that I do digital art, but I don't think a lot of you understand to what degree I love art. And when I mean art, I mean the actual art, like, you know, the art you learn of the great masters and all that kind of stuff. And I have a big collection of art books. And I think at one point I'll make a video showing everything, all the art books I have, because, you know, some of you might care, a lot of you probably won't, but, you know, I can do whatever I want because it's my channel. Now, this thingy is brought up because I watched a movie yesterday. As you can see in the title, it's the Monuments Man. It's a video with, like, it's such an impressive cast. This movie, it's so insane, and it's like a war movie. And I generally hate war movies. I can't stand the war movies because every war movie is the same. And this is finally, George Clooney finally did something. I think he even made the movie. He finally did something different with Monuments Man, you know. And my complaints is that not about the movie, but the complaints other critics have, and it's so fucking stupid. So basically, there might be a few spoilers in this. It's based on, like I said, a real... So it's gonna be a bit messy, this video. It's gonna be more laid back for me. It's cold, and I like my tea. And I just want to relax while doing this. So it's based on a real story that during World War II, Hitler ordered he stole everything from the Jews. He stole all the art, and not just from the Jews, but anyway, he stole the art, he destroyed the art, the gold, everything. He took everything. And there was a group, I think it was an American group, that went into the war and tried to prevent American soldiers, among others, to destroy national monuments and bridges, and they tried to recuperate the stolen art. And that's what the Monuments Men were. So it's based on a real story. And it became even more vital because Hitler had a decree signed where if he would die, all the art was supposed to be destroyed. So it was a pretty important mission. A lot of people tend to say, you know, nobody cares about art and all that stuff, and that's where the main problem comes in. Critics had with this movie, and then they say like how it's based on a real story, but the historical accuracy is completely wrong, and that's where I'm like, no, okay, no, you cannot like a movie because it's about art. Sure, I can understand that. You cannot like it because it doesn't have 15,000 explosions. There's a lot of dialogue in it. It really focuses on the art, and that is why I loved it, because I can't stand other war movies, because that's always the same to me. But the historical, I started doing research. There's documentaries on this too, but I didn't really watch more yet. I just quickly used the internet because I was quicker at that time, and it was pretty late, so I didn't feel like doing any research about it anymore. Via the discs, because I used the internet. And George Clooney himself said like about 80% of this movie is true, and that's true. I mean, sure, the movie is not like The Matrix, which is 100% accurate in real life, but you have a lot of movies based on true events that might use just the name of a character, or they just use an event, like, let's say, I don't know, a tsunami, and the only true fact about those movies would be then that the tsunami happened, and that's it. But no, most of the events in this movie happened. Some of them died in real life. Yeah, not all of them. Like, this is a group of about 7 men, I think. In real life the group was a little bit bigger, but the events like Hitler signing the treaty, the legislation, the whatever you want to call it, the law where if he would die, everything should be destroyed. That is true. Everything they found is real. They show real pictures in the movie too near at the credits. Now the stuff they found is real. The thingies that were protected is real. Most of the characters are real. Most of this movie is real. And then you have like critics online that give this movie like out of 100 points, you give it like 50 because it lacks historical accuracy. And no, the accuracy of this movie is very nice and faithful to the actual events. Yeah, it's not 100%. It takes liberties. You have to take liberties. But most of the stuff, compared to other movies based on real events, this has a very high degree of what really happened. And I just can't stand it when people give movies bad degrees upon the percentage of historical accuracy. You don't have that in shit like The Man in the Iron Mask, for example, or other stuff. It's just, it blows my mind, and I don't know, it just pisses me off. And then you have shit that just say it's a plain bad movie, which they only saying that because it has, first of all, it has such an amazing cast. The acting is amazing. I love seeing John Goodman finally again in a high role like this. Jean Dujardin, a French actor, finally he's getting a bit more out there because he's very good. He deserves it. And see Bill Murray and Matt Damon just putting all this shit together, and it's not just like an Expendables where you just throw all these guys together and they let them walk around. It's very nicely done. I absolutely fucking love this movie. It is a really good story. Like I said, the historical accuracy of the movie is not just like very high, it is just a good movie. You don't need a million explosions, a death count that goes over 100. You don't need fancy editing and stuff. Sometimes movies, they don't need all of that, and people are getting spoiled with all these superhero movies lately. Perhaps that they forgot the fact that movies like this used to be all people had. Just where it focuses on the acting and the storytelling and not on special effects and all that shit. I don't know, I couldn't stand, like I said, I'm a big art fan, and I'll show you guys one day more about what I have. And I hate war movies, like I said, because it's always the same. You have Soldier A has to go to point B to defeat Soldier C, and then stuff happens or he gets betrayed by Soldier B, and it's like shooting, explosions, suffering. No, considering it's in World War II, and you don't get to see anything about the concentration camps, and that's what makes it good. They don't need to show you that. They don't need to give Hitler like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes screen time. You see him once or twice maybe in the whole movie, and it is so well done, and I just really had to rant about this. I feel I'm saying the same shit over and over again. I used to do that a lot. These days I do all this fancy editing, and all these setups and all that stuff, and I edit everything out that I say almost because I keep repeating myself. I just had to get this out of there. It makes me icky when I read reviews that give this movie 2 stars out of 5, 50 stars out of 100 and all that shit, and it's a good fucking movie. It's one of the best movies this year, I feel. Now of course it has a lot I still have to see. I didn't watch the X-Men movie yet, I didn't watch Planet of the Apes yet, and was it this year or last? I don't remember exactly. I think in France it was this year that it was released, 2014, yeah. And movies like this get overshadowed because nobody cares about art anymore these days, and that's the beautiful message this movie portrays. Nobody cares about art now. Nobody cared about art back then, and people bring up the thing, how can you value a piece of art to a human being? And that's the beauty about this movie, because art is important. Lives can be rebuilt, but you cannot rebuild that which people left behind. It is so insane to see the war finally through a different view, where it's not just death and suffering and destruction, and it's really about something completely different. I highly recommend. If you like war movies, if you love art, to go check this movie out. Or if you just like good movies, because don't trust what people say online. It's a very nice movie. I really, really enjoyed it. I love how I can just have silence in these videos. I can basically do whatever I want. Sometimes I forget in videos. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I don't like feeling bound to anything. So like I said, one day I'll do a video about the art books. I have a lot of fancy art books because I love art. I love the way these books smell. I don't smell stuff. Like my fiance, she smells everything. I'm not like that, but I love art and shit like this. And one day I'll show you guys all the books that I have laying around. Art books are so expensive, it's insane. Like I said, the metal collection video update is about to come. Like I have 2 more CDs to listen to, I think, or 3, and I'm gonna do that today because I have a lot of cleaning to do. And I have another video, like I have to re-render it. It's like 30 minutes long and nobody's gonna give a shit about that video. But that's the fun part. I can't believe I'm almost at like 500 subscribers. It's kind of insane. Like I like it that at least by now, the point I am at in YouTube, I actually get like an average of 100 views, and that might not seem too much when you see shit like Game Explain and Cinema and all that shit, you know. But I'm happy where I am, and I'm glad that at least some people watching my videos. When I would make a video like this, I always wonder how many people actually care and how many people actually watch everything till the end. Okay, but before I drag this video out way too long, I hope this fucking egg I put here doesn't put the whole video out of focus. That would be pretty stupid. I'll double check that. I'm not gonna re-record this, so even if it does put everything out of focus, you're still gonna be watching it. So I apologize. And next time I'll just know better, not put shit in the foreground. I don't think my camera can focus on the background and the foreground at the same time. You need some expensive shit for that. Anyway, my name is Man. Go watch it. Stay real.